One interesting aspect of history that Henry Louis Gates Jr. and others draw to our attention is the idea that Africa enjoyed a glorious golden age during the period when Europe was still struggling to survive the Middle Ages. Starting from around year 1000 and up until the 1600s, Africa was blooming because the continent was enjoying a period of commercial expansion, wealth, prosperity, the founding of powerful empires, and the building of new cities. This episode will look at one of the earliest of the great sub-Saharan kingdoms. Welcome to the Sankofa Pan-African series. Please subscribe if you've not done so, and click on your notification button, and then don't forget to share our videos in order to help keep us going. Thank you. Now, in Western Africa, the earliest empire of note is Ghana. Most accounts of this empire dates it back to about 4th century AD, because very little is known about its early political history. However, it is believed that due to the availability of camels, Berber-speaking people were able to cross the Sahara Desert from the northern parts of the continent. They traveled in caravans, following trade routes that were later described by Arabic writers, who recorded very minute details of the routes that they took. Now, gold from the western and central Sudan was the area that was at that time, the large area that was known as Western Sudan, was the main commodity which the Berbers were after. By 1050, Ghana was strong enough to assume control of the Islamic Berber town of Ouagadougou. The traffic in gold was big because it was needed to make coins in the Mediterranean. Now, the rise in the gold trade is tied to the rise of the Soninke Empire of Ghana. The Soninke, sometimes called Sarakole, Serakule, or Serahuli, are an ancient West African ethnic group who are believed to be ancestors of the much larger Mande group. The Soninke are now part of the Mande. The Soninkes are the founders of ancient Ghana, which was the first West African empire, like I said earlier. So they called their kingdom Ouagadougou. And according to John G. Jackson, some of the Soninke clans that formed the ancient empire of Ghana were the Sise, Drame, Sila, and Kante. These clans operated a division of labor with which they regulated various social, economic, and government functions. Now, for example, the Sise clan ruled, while the Kante clan provided artisans such as goldsmiths, silversmiths, and blacksmiths. Other clans were in charge of agriculture, animal husbandry, etc. Now, although the empire became known as Ghana Empire, this was the name that they called their ruler in their Mande language. It means warrior king. Like I said, they called their kingdom Ouagadougou. The kingdom grew into an empire by annexing lands around it because it possessed weapons and tools which made it more advanced than its neighbors. The name Ghana became associated with the empire as the fame of its emperors and warrior kings grew, and so the name Ghana then became synonymous with the empire. So the rulers of Ghana also served as the commander of the army. However, when he died, he could not be succeeded by his son. Rather, he was succeeded by the son of his sister. In this regard, the Soninke were like other matrilineal African groups. The Ghana Empire had an efficient army which helped it to withstand invaders and keep peace within its borders. As such, the empire prospered and its rich lands produced enough crops like millet, sorghum, as well as cotton. The kingdom quickly grew wealthy and powerful due to its access to gold because of its location, which was between the Sahara and the Sahel. Its location was also allowed it to open up trade routes from these two places, that is the Sahara and the Sahel, as well as into the West African hinterland. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, it was situated between the Sahara, the Senegal, and Niger rivers. The area which it initially occupied now comprises southeastern Mauritania and part of Mali. At the height of its glory, the empire spread out to include modern-day Guinea and Senegal. It did not cover, ironically, it did not cover the area that now constitutes the country Ghana, which gained independence from Britain. Now, the Ghana Empire, the ancient Ghana Empire's prosperity was based primarily on its ability to install itself as a major trading point. Trading caravans from North Africa brought various commodities to exchange for metal artifacts, cotton cloth, and well-finished leather goods. Jackson illustrates how well established the production of these goods were in Ghana by pointing to the misnamed Moroccan leather, which was highly sought after by the Moors, but was actually made in this West African empire. And interestingly, the empire did not even produce the two most important commodities on which its wealth was based. Ghana's wealth came from serving as a major trading post for salt and gold, but it did not produce either of them. Kumbi, the capital of the empire, was located strategically enough so that traders from areas north of the Sahara Desert who had an abundance of salt could trade it there in Kumbi for gold from an area called Wangara, which had rich gold mines. The traders of the empire served as middlemen and paid taxes to the government for their trade. John G. Jackson also provides a very vivid and interesting account of the way this lucrative trade, which took the form of a silent or dumb barter, was conducted. According to him, North African merchants who had salt and other goods to trade for gold would go to the ancient empire of Ghana, and the traders from the empire who served as middlemen would escort them and their goods to a riverbank close to the gold mines. The exact location of the mines was a very shrewdly kept secret from the traders. When the Ghanaian middlemen arrived at the river bank with the North African traders, They would deposit the goods, and they had in individual heaps. Then drums would be beaten to inform the miners who had gold that they were ready to do business. The middlemen will then escort the North Africans away from the location. The people who had the gold to exchange for goods would then arrive and leave measures of gold that they thought were commensurate to the value of the heaps of goods that had of goods like salt that had been left behind. They also retreated after doing so. So the buyers and the owners of the gold never actually met face to face. The middlemen will then return with the owners of the salt and other goods to view the gold which had been left behind. If they were satisfied with the quantities of gold left, they would gather the gold, and drums will be beaten to indicate their acceptance, and also to let the gold merchants know that they should come for the goods. However, if they were not satisfied with the amount of gold, they would not touch it and would retreat again until the merchants brought more. Now, traders with all kinds of goods, including wheat, sheep, cattle, honey, various dried fruits, etc., brought them to Kumbi to exchange for gold. Kumbi, of course, like I said earlier, was the capital of the empire. There were also numerous shops from which craftsmen sold their wares in the markets of Kumbi. There were blacksmiths who made iron tools, weapons. There was gold, silver, and coppersmiths who made jewelry. There were potters, weavers, leather workers, different kinds of craftsmen. Now, Ghana also levied and taxed states that were under it. With all the commercial activities going on in it, Kumbi, the capital, which started out as two cities, gradually became joined together. Initially, Kumbi was were two cities which were joined by a long boulevard, and then because people started inhabiting the spaces in between it, the two cities became one large city where trade flourished. While with time, they developed a large Muslim population with several mosques in the empire. There were people of other faiths, and the official religion was based on traditional beliefs. The empire remained intact well into the 11th century. Some of the early Arab Muslim invaders of North Africa heard about the empire and the abundance of gold from more traders around the 8th century. Now, lured by gold and thinking it would be easy for them to repeat the kind of success that they were already enjoying when they started invading the Iberian peninsulas, the Moors began making incursions to capture Ghana, but the empire defeated them. In 1062, however, Ghana was attacked by a more ruthless Islamic group, the Almoravids. The empire put up a strong resistance and managed to keep the Almoravids at bay till 1067. But for the next 20 years, the Almoravids kept attacking and then it compelled the Ghanaians to submit to Islam and started collecting taxes from them. They were ruthless in asserting their reign and massacred those who tried to resist them. Due to its own internal wrangling, however, the Almoravids disintegrated and lost hold of power. that they held in Ghana by 1087. Now, a bit more about the Soninkes. The Soninkes tried to regroup and re-establish power over what was left of the kingdom. But then areas like Mali and Songhai, which had been under the Ghana Empire, declared themselves independence because by then Ghana had become weakened. Finally, by 1235, Mali captured the kingdom, sacking the magnificent commercial city of Kumbi, which tried to resist. Thank you for being a part of this Sankofa Pan-Africa series episode. Do continue to support us by sharing our videos. Give us a thumbs up if you like them, and keep your questions coming through the comment page, and also keep us engaged on the community page. The next episode we'll be looking at Mali, so look out for that. Bye.